rib on here. We put the filler rib in, which goes here, and then we put the transition rib, which brings it down to what the windshield will mount on, down to here. This is STI wing, and you can see how much bigger the Stoll wing is. It's this much deeper. This would be your original wing, and the Stoll wing is this much taller. So they, instead of changing the windshield and all that, they just transition down to it, and then the butt rib goes in here, and your windshield is this height right here, just like it was sitting on top of the standard wing. But this will be the top of the wing on the STI wing. That's why you go slower, because you're pushing more wing through the wind. You get to land slower, and you get to travel cross country slower, both. You lose it on both ends. I just took some baling wire, or electric fence wire. We drilled holes, a 1/16 hole. It fits our wire just fine. We drilled into, this has to be flush right here. So we just drilled small holes in here. If you can see the small holes, we drilled into the next piece below it, and we stuck those, go down into this about 1/4 inch, and that just to hold it stable. We'll take them out when we're done. That keeps that from being able to move in and out on me while the glue is drying. Okay, working on the butt rib brackets, working on the mounting brackets themselves right now. As you see, there's a rivet top and bottom. This is what they look like. I've drilled the top and bottom hose. I have clecoed them to the butt rib itself, and now I'm ready to drill these two rivet holes here. Okay, on these mounts for the butt plate, you have to drill 2 holes, of course, there, and then you have to drill 2 holes here. It's really hard to drill a round piece of pipe, so we took and drilled a 1/2 inch hole here, and then we had to die grind it out just a little bit with sandpaper to make them where they slipped in here. And then we marked our hose. After you put them in there, we have the hose marked, the top hole and the bottom hole. Now the vice versa. This is the top hole and this is the bottom hole. So we drill one, and then we spin it over like that and drill the other one. And that gives you your one hole on top and your one hole on bottom, and makes it real easy to get them in the right place. And they drill easy. Okay, we're hanging the jury struts today. You're supposed to line them up with a plumb bob after you level the frame. Make sure it's level, and then you can use a plumb bob to make sure these are in the right positions. And once they are, then you drill holes, click them in place, and then those will be riveted and glued. These will be measured and marked, and keep the number somewhere when we put them back together. It's just follow the book. It's pretty self-explanatory. Only take you 6 tries. Okay, after we put the struts in, we have to put the false ribs in. This will hold the covering. Well, really, it'll hold some. It gets covered all the way up to here with a leading edge fiberglass, and then it just holds the airfoil shape. We couldn't put them in while we were working on the left strut bracket and all that stuff, so we've got them temporary in place, hopefully. As soon as they glue, then we have to put a big fillet of glue like this on them. We'll do that after they dry, set them. Just kind of hard to get those to stay in place. I finally got my hot glue out and put a brace all the way across here and hot glued them. After I couldn't get them to stand up straight, I couldn't figure out how to clamp them right. it just wasn't cooperating. So I finally got the little clamps to hold up here, and then I use this plywood across here and use some hot glue on it. Just hold them in place, hopefully, till that sets up, and then I can put the big glue fillets on it. Time for the fuel tanks.
Yeah.
This is the hard one. It's got to end up pointing right there. You're not supposed to over tighten the fittings. So you know it's going to end up like right here or somewhere. Happens every time. What a day. Oh, it's not too bad. I believe you want that one just down, just not level, just a hair down. That's where you want that one. And the rest of them just get glued and put in. You can pause it now. Okay, we got it all plumbed up. Now we're going for our second pressure test. We're checking for leaks now. We already checked the tank for leaks. Now we're checking for any leaks around the fittings we just put in using soapy water. If you get any leaks, you will bubble up. Everything looks good. Leave it set for a few minutes. If there's any at all by it, it'll bubble up. Video.
Now what do you want me to do?
Take pictures of this. This is our fuel tank placard. This is, you have a plastic tube that runs from here to here. Shows you your fuel level, and this will be marked in gallons up here. And we have to cut this in two to be able to get it onto the two tubes. So we're going to try this method here of cutting it and see how it works. There you go. Two pieces that fit back together. This has plastic on it. If you see the imperfections there, it has a plastic cover has not been taken off yet. Bring it over here. Hose goes in there. The hose goes, this is the actual fuel gauge here. It's not on all the way, but I'm just showing you how everything's gonna fit. Maybe get the right way. This will be on there, and then you'll have to put this on there afterwards. That's why it's split. And it'll have a placard. You'll have a placard on it with your fuel levels, which will read this tube. And now I have to screw that on there to finish it up. Just need gas. Well, maybe a motor would help. Covering on the wings. And we're almost done. Not. We've got our tanks to put in. Been working on the back for the gauge, the placard area. We are gluing the false ribs on this one right here. We've just glued the middle false rib. Several more to go. It'll match all these here that laid on top of the tank. This tank we just set in there with the glue on it. It's setting up as we speak. Be ready for tomorrow night. Getting her done.